beautiful stork and the brave crab. A long time ago, in a distant lake, there lived a stork. The lake was full of fish and the stork had plenty to eat. So he was happy and content with life. As the years went by, the stork grew old. He was unable to catch fish as easily as he used to. He became thin and weak. If things continue this way, he thought, I will surely die. The thought of hunger and starvation filled the stork with fear. He came up with an evil plan to save himself. He perched on the bank of the lake with a very sad face. Fishes and frogs swam past him, but he did not try to catch them. All the creatures of the lake began to wonder what was wrong with the stork. What's the matter, Mr. Stork? Why are you so sad? Asked a frisky frog. Catch me if you can, he added cheekily. No, my son, replied the stork. Times are changing and that fills me with sadness. All my life I have had a good time eating all the fishes, frogs and crabs that I could. But alas, this had to end. That why, Mr. Stork? Asked the frog. Well, replied the stork, I have overheard a few people talking. This lake is to be emptied out and refilled with soil and used for growing vegetables. If this happens, all the fishes, frogs and crabs would die. Without all these creatures, I will also starve to death. Saying this, the stork burst into tears. The frisky frog swam away as fast as he could to tell the bad news to all the fishes, frogs and crabs. They were all very frightened to hear this. What shall we do now? They cried to one another. Let's go to Mr. Stork, said a fish. He is older and wiser than we are. He will surely be able to help. Yes, agreed all the creatures. That's a good idea. Sobbing and crying, all the creatures went up to the stork. Mr. Stork, the creatures pleaded, do save us. We don't want to die. Only you can think of a plan to save us. Ha ha, the stork laughed to himself. How foolish these creatures are. Now I will never be hungry again. The stork pretended to think hard and sad. I would try my best to save your lives. I know of another lake a little far away. If you have faith in me, I'll take you all across. All the fishes, frogs and crabs started quarreling among themselves. Each one of them wanted to be the first to go with the stork. Now, everybody, said the stork sternly. We all have to be patient. I'm old and weak and tired easily. I'll take you one at a time. I'll take the fishes first. Now the time for putting my plan into action has come, thought the stork. He quickly grabbed a fish in his sharp beak and away he flew. Have we reached the lake, Mr. Stork? Asked the fish timidly. After a little while, hum, replied the stork with his beak tightly closed over the fish. He flew down to a rocky cliff and quickly ate up his prey. The days passed happily for the stork. Whenever he felt hungry, he would pick up fish and pretending to take it across to the new lake and make a meal out of it. One day, a crab crawled up to the stork and grumbled. Mr. Stork, it's not fair. You seem to favor only the fishes. Every day you take them across the lake. When will my turn come? The stork grinned slyly to himself. I'll be a good change to have a crab today for lunch, he thought. All right, my son, said the stork. Today is your turn. The stork picked up the crab in his beak and flew away. They flew over a great distance, but the crab could not see any sign of the promised lake. When the stork began to descend over the rocky cliff below, he grew a little suspicious. As they got closer and closer to the ground, the crab was shocked to see fish bones lying everywhere. At last, he knew the truth. So, this is what the stork was up to, the crab thought angrily.
He tricked us and was eating us one by one. I'll teach him a lesson."
The crab grabbed the stork's slender neck with his strong claws and squeezed hard. "Oh!" the stork screeched. "Let me go!" But the crab did not loosen his grip. The stork tried his best to shake off the crab but could not do so.
"Take that, you nasty stork,"
said the crab, tightening his grip, and the stork's head broke away from his body. The brave crab dragged the stork's head back to the lake. All the creatures were amazed to see the crab crawling his way back with the severed head of the stork.
"What happened to Mr. Stork?" they gasped. "Why have you come back?"
"Well," replied the crab angrily,
"Mr. Stork was a big cheat. He had cleverly set up a trap to kill all the fishes, frogs, and crabs of this lake. He had lied about carrying us to safety. He was only taking us one by one to a deserted rock cliff and eating us up. However, I have put an end to his evil plans by killing him."
All the creatures rejoiced. They cheered the brave crab who had saved their lives. Hence, the story teaches us that evil comes home to roost. The wise